I was washing the mug she'd left behind when the knock came. 3 short taps, hesitant, familiar. My hands froze in the warm, soapy water. That rhythm. That goddamn rhythm. The same one that used to mean, "It's me, don't be mad." When I opened the door, there she was, Lena. Same soft brown eyes, same nervous smile that once made me forget every reason I had to be angry. But now the only thing that greeted her was silence. "Hi," she whispered. Her voice cracked on the single syllable, like it didn't belong to her anymore. I didn't say anything. I just looked at her, the rain in her hair, the trembling hands clutching her phone like it was a lifeline. And then she said it. "Ravi, I was wrong. You're my soulmate." For a moment I thought I'd misheard her. That maybe my brain, desperate for some version of peace, had twisted her words into something it wanted to hear. But no. She was crying. And the word soulmate tasted like betrayal all over again. I stepped aside, wordless, letting her in. The house hadn't changed much since she left. Still smelled faintly of cinnamon and her lavender shampoo. The scent I couldn't bring myself to throw away. She walked in like someone visiting a grave. Touching the back of the sofa, the picture frames, the mug I'd stopped washing. "Do you want coffee?" I asked, my voice too calm, too measured. She nodded, eyes darting everywhere except toward me. As the kettle hissed, I watched her reflection in the glass cabinet. The way she wrung her fingers, the small winces whenever her phone lit up. Each movement screamed guilt, even though she tried to hide it under that trembling sincerity. When I turned with the coffee, I said quietly, "So he's gone." Her eyes lifted, caught, startled. "What?" I leaned on the counter, tilting my head. "The guy you left for. He used you and ghosted, didn't he?" Silence. A long, unbearable silence that said everything her mouth refused to. And then her face broke. It wasn't just guilt. It was humiliation. Her lips trembled. Her mascara streaked. She tried to speak, but the words came out as air. I nodded slowly, the answer already carved into the quiet between us. "I see." It all came back in fragments like glass catching light. The late-night work calls. The sudden urge to dress up for girls' night. The way she'd started guarding her phone like a priest with a sacred text. I'd noticed. Of course I had. But love makes you complicit in your own betrayal. You tell yourself she's just tired. That people change and it's your job to adapt, not accuse. And when she'd finally said, "I need time to find myself," I'd watched her pack with shaking hands, telling myself that maybe she really would. That maybe she'd come back whole. But the woman standing in front of me now wasn't whole. She was wreckage in human form. "I thought," she began, voice soft, fragile. "I thought he loved me. He said things that I used to say?" I cut in. Her eyes flinched. I let out a bitter laugh. "Of course he did. People like him always do." "Please don't," she whispered, tears spilling now. "I made a mistake. A horrible mistake." I walked closer, close enough to see the thin gold chain around her neck, the one I'd given her on our 5th anniversary. She'd kept it. And for one unbearable second my heart softened. Because despite everything, part of me still wanted to reach out, to hold her, to erase the months she'd spent with someone else. But then the truth pulsed in my throat like poison. She hadn't come back for love. She'd come back because she had nowhere else to go. "Lena," I said quietly, "when you left, I blamed myself. I tore myself apart trying to figure out what I did wrong. Maybe I wasn't romantic enough. Maybe I stopped listening. Maybe I made it too easy to walk away." She tried to reach for my hand, but I pulled it back. "I replayed everything," I continued. "Every word. Every silence. And somewhere in that mess I realized, you didn't leave because you fell in love with someone else. You left because you wanted to feel chosen. You wanted fireworks, not stability. And when the fireworks burned out, you thought you could come home." Her knees buckled slightly as if the words themselves had weight. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she murmured. "But he said I was different. That I deserved more." I laughed softly, but it came out like a sigh. "And did he mean it?" Her silence was my answer. The clock ticked behind us, slow, deliberate. Rain pattered against the window, and somewhere down the street, a dog barked. Life went on, oblivious to the quiet implosion happening in my living room. "Do you hate me?" she asked suddenly. I looked at her and for the first time I didn't see my wife. I saw a stranger wearing her skin. Someone broken by the same illusion she once accused me of living by. No, I said finally. I don't hate you. Her eyes flickered with hope. But I don't love you anymore either. That broke her. The way her shoulders crumpled, the sobs she tried to muffle, it should have felt like victory. But it didn't. It just felt hollow. She sat on the couch, head in her hands. And I stood there, wondering how two people who once shared everything could now share nothing but silence. Finally, she whispered, "Can we at least start over?" I looked at her for a long moment. Her phone buzzed again. She ignored it this time, but I saw the name flash across the screen. Vic. I didn't know if it was him, but the fact that she hadn't deleted the contact told me enough. I walked to the door and opened it. "The thing about soulmates, Lena," I said quietly, "is that they don't make you feel disposable." Her face crumpled, but she didn't argue. She just stood, nodded faintly, and walked out into the rain. When the door clicked shut, I leaned against it, my heart pounding. Not with anger but release. The air felt clearer, lighter. I looked around the empty house, at the mug still in the sink, at the faint outline of where her photo used to hang. And for the first time in months I didn't feel haunted. I picked up my phone, deleted her contact, and whispered to the quiet room. Maybe she was right. Maybe I am a soulmate, just not hers anymore. Outside, the rain eased into a drizzle. And somewhere in that soft gray light I realized, sometimes betrayal doesn't end you, freeze you.